So today I'm doing a different type of video that I usually do, and I got it as an idea that saw a few YouTube videos on. Well, I watched a Marvel YouTube video about this, and I got the idea. So I thought I'd do it, change up a bit, and yeah, I thought it was a good idea. So I thought I could use it for this channel as well. So if you do enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it. So today's video, as you can tell, is a Marvel Battle Royale between loads of different characters. Now, a YouTube channel called CBR did do this, and there is a few rules to this. Is that the main rules is that every character here, all their abilities that we know in the Marvel universe are stripped away from them, so their weapons are stripped away from them as well. And in this Battle Royale fight, there can only be a one-on-one situation, which I have done, because otherwise they would just get manic and out of hand if they were all fighting at the same time. So yeah, I had to make it a few one-on-one at a time, and their strength. All this lies down to combat skills in today's video, and in this battle royale type scenario with Marvel characters. Now this isn't just MCU, this is all type of different Marvel characters, but it is mainly going to be MCU characters, but in there's a few throw the dice characters in there as well. So here are the list of characters that will be a part of this battle royale, and there is 15 I have here, and it is Moon Knight, Luke Cage, Ghost, Nick Fury, Hawkeye, Kingpin, Ronan, Shang-Chi, Gamora, Black Widow, Jessica Jones, Drax, Thor, Mantis, and Eddie Brock. Now, there is a few characters in there that will easily get out of the way, but I have done that on purpose. So, without further ado, let's start the Battle Royale games. So, the first fight that will be taking place will be Moon Knight is going to take out Mantis. Pretty easy, she is an easy target, which I just said about with a few easy targets in here. There is probably mainly 2 easy targets in this list, and obviously Mantis being one of them, getting taken out by Moon Knight. Now, Black Widow takes out Eddie Brock. Obviously, this Eddie Brock doesn't have the Venom, obviously, because isn't allowed all those types of, like, out of the world dimension, like Hulk would have been taken away if Hulk was in here, he wouldn't be with, so it would just be Bruce Banner. So yeah, Venom isn't in this, so it's just Eddie Brock, and obviously, as we know, Black Widow would easily take out Eddie Brock. So those are 2 easy targets out of the way and gone from the Battle Royale. Now, Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, she takes out Nick Fury. It is a hard fight, obviously, but Ghost takes him out easily, obviously, with her training as a shield agent. It's a pretty easy fight for her, but overall it is a hard fight. But for her, she probably thinks it's an easy fight against Nick Fury, her old companion, I guess, at shield. So the next fight is going to be Gamora. Gamora takes out her father's long servant Ronan very easily, as Gamora has gone years of training under Thanos, and obviously, as we know, was probably very hard training that she did have to go through under her father. So yeah, that's going to be, I would say that's a pretty easy fight for Gomorrah, who will go pretty far in this list, I believe. And now, Shang-Chi, he takes out Jessica Jones. Even though Jessica Jones is a good street fighter, Shang-Chi has years of experience under his father, and overall is just a very strong fighter due to his training that he had to do. As we saw in Shang-Chi, we saw that he had a lot of training and he could go through some tough times, but without the 10 rings, he is easily a character who can take anyone out on his day. So that is why he would take out Jessica Jones, even though I do know Jessica Jones is a very cool character and is very well trained and is a very good fighter. Okay, so now there is only 10 left in the Battle Royale arena. So the ones that are taken out was obviously Jessica Jones, Ronan, Nick Fury, Eddie Brock, and Mantis. So those are the first 5 to go, and now there's 10 left. Now, Moon Knight fights Luke Cage, and as powerful as Cage is, as we know from the Netflix Marvel series, from all those shows, he is not matched for Moon Knight, as we know Moon Knight from the comics, and obviously, as we can see, that he's going to be joining the MCU soon. We know his strength is insane, and he's got very quick movement, he's very stealthy as well. So that is Luke Cage gone from the Battle Royale. And now, our favourite, everyone fans' most favourite character is Thor now enters the battle, and with 1500 years of experience and training, he is bound to decimate anyone in his way, and the unfortunate person to step in his way will be Drax. As strong as we know Drax is, it's going to be an easy win for the God of Thunder, so that's now Drax out of the way. Now, Natasha and Clint are screaming in joy, now knowing that in this arena everyone are like them with no abilities, and Clint versus Kingpin will be a close fight with the brute strength of Wilson Fisk, but Clint has a lot of experience and is a very strong agent, and if Kate can do it, I'm sure I'm sure her former Avenger partner could easily do it too. So that is Kingpin gone. Now, obviously, as we know, Kingpin is massive, and in the comics, he did go through a lot of training when he was younger, which made him, he had enhanced human strength, so it's probably the strongest human there is, without being an extraterrestrial, whatever, an alien. So yeah, I think as we saw in the Hawkeye show, Kate Bishop took him out. I'm pretty sure Clint would take him out too. Now we see Black Widow joins back into the fight from a previous fight, and now she is against a well-trained agent, Ghost. And as we know, Ghost is a very well-trained agent and a strong fighter, but her skills cannot compare to the Red Room-trained Natasha Romanoff. After all, Black Widow name was given to her because of how deadly she was. So, Ghost is gone from this fight. Now, the Battle Royale. Now Gomorrah has entered the fight again, and from Clint fighting the brute Kingpin to instantly fighting Gomorrah, a well-trained assassin, daughter of Thanos, her training was hard, a lot harder than Clint's, so in my opinion I think Gomorrah would easily win in this fight. And now we're down to the final 5 in this battle arena, so who went this time was Clint, Barton, Ghost, Wilson Fisk, or Kingpin, Drax, and Luke Cage. I think all of these characters left are very strong, and the ones that just went in the last round are also very strong. But now we're down to the final 5 in this long Battle Royale type scenario. Now, as we know, Shang-Chi is a very strong fighter, very strong and well-trained fighter, but compared to a master of stealth and strength with Moon Knight, this only goes one way, to Moon Knight. But overall, the fight would be very difficult for Moon Knight due to Shang-Chi's strength and his ability in being well trained. As I obviously said earlier, in Shang-Chi we saw a lot of Shang-Chi and his training and what he had to go through. But as we know from Moon Knight in the comics, and especially going into the MCU, he could be the most darkest character we've ever seen in the MCU. Kind of maybe compare it to the Batman of DC. Now, I don't like DC, but as we all know, Batman is very dark in DC. So I do think that Moon Knight is probably the equivalent of that in Marvel. So yeah, that's why Moon Knight's going so far. Obviously, he's such a strong fighter as well, very well trained, quick, fast in his training as well. So that's why Moon Knight has won that fight against Shang-Chi. Now the two trained assassins return to the battle with Black Widow and Gomorrah. As we know, they are both well trained, and that's the only thing they knew when growing up was to fight and kill. So this battle is a very difficult one, and is a very long and hard fight due to them now having strong. They both have strong knowledge of fighting and being trained, being very well trained since they were very young when they started. But I feel this fight should only go the way of Natasha Romanoff. Now, Gomorrah is a very strong fighter without her swords, but her swords give her an extra boost in her fights. And as we know, over the years, Natasha can fight with just her bare fists. So I think overall this fight would go to Natasha. I'm not saying Gomorrah is weak or anything, because this fight would be very close in the MCU. As we know, Gomorrah is a very well-trained fighter. As we know, her father is Thanos, so she went through a lot of training, beating up her sister as well, Nebula, who had to go through everything because Gamora beat her, and that was a lot. So it trained Gamora physically and mentally, and yeah, I think Gamora is an amazing fighter. But with Natasha, she was trained, obviously, like I just said, they were kind of the same physically and mentally, but I feel like Natasha was worse, as she had to go through the whole of the Red Moon practically her whole childhood and growing up. So I believe Natasha would win this fight. Now Moon Knight returns, and along with him comes the God of Thunder, and I think we all know where this fight goes. As we know, Moon Knight is powerful and skilled in his fighting style is very unique. So compared to Thor, he has more of a style to his fighting, more of a unique fighting style compared to Thor, as Thor is just a brute strength who just, with his muscles basically just goes in, as we saw as we know Thor in the MCU. But Thor has 1,500 years of experience, and he is a brute force when it comes to strength. So, in my opinion, I believe this one obviously goes to the mighty Thor, in my opinion. Now this leaves us with the final 2. It all comes down to this final battle between Natasha, the Black Widow, and Thor, the God of Thunder. Who wins? Well, I think we all know due to his experience and long years in fighting. Not only is he a god, but he is a well-trained and strong fighter. We can say the same for Natasha Romanoff in being a good fighter and very well-trained in the Red Room, obviously. being tortured her whole life, being trained and fighting. But with Thor's brute strength and long experience, there is only one winner in Thor. Now, I do believe Thor easily deserves this fight and win. And obviously Natasha went pretty far, as we know. This is something Natasha deserves in, in a battle royale type of scenario. I think Natasha would do amazingly well in her, as we all know that she's a very strong fighter. She's very skilled from the Red Room. But I think when it comes down with Thor, even take away Stormbreaker and Mjolnir away from Thor, his brute strength, as we see in Thor and Thor the Dark World and all of the Thor films, actually, we all know how strong of a fighter Thor really is. And it just proves it, even without the thunder in this arena, he can easily win the fight. So I hope you did enjoy this different type of video. I thought really like the idea of doing this. So if you want to see one with more characters in it, or maybe a competition, maybe just all-out battle one, maybe just one-on-ones, because we do a versus series in shorts. But I think I prefer this. I think it's a lot better going into more detail. So if you do want to see more videos like this, please obviously tell us down below. I hope you did enjoy today's video. I hope you had a good day, and goodbye.